Our dining room has been long overdue for an update. So with some high impact but low cost upgrades, I'll be transforming this space one DIY at a time. In my last video, I added this beautiful picture frame molding to break up the empty space on this wall. In this video, we're going to finish off by painting and adding a few more details along the way. For the paint color, I chose Alpaca Blanket by Behr. It's definitely on the lighter side. It's not white. It's definitely going to be brighter in here. The blue was okay. It's just not the blue I wanted. By the time I cared to find the blue I wanted, we were here at this point where I just want to change the room altogether. Okay, so I'm finally going to start painting. To be honest, when I went into the store, I just chose whatever stuck out to me. So I don't know how it's going to look. It did look nice on the sample, but I didn't get an actual sample and try it out on the wall. So however it does look is what it's going to look like. We just have to commit. It does look really white, which is what I was afraid of. I want to see it up against the white trim. This is what coat number 1 looks like in daylight, and it looks so good. I love it. So after I started painting, I did decide that I wanted to paint the trim and the door. The thought of color drenching does seem very interesting. However, I cannot commit to the entire room. So I'm going to stick to doing the trim around the door and the door. I will leave the window and the trim to the rest of the room white. I do want some contrast. But as for the door, I feel like it might be too much white. I finally found my dining room chairs. I found these on Facebook Marketplace. This woman was emptying out her warehouse. I guess she sells them or rents them for private parties. And these were $40 each. I could not pass up on this offer. Now, there were a few imperfections, and I did kind of feel pressure to hurry up and choose one because I got there while she was closing and she was trying to get these out. The design, shape, and color is perfect for this space. Everything else was running me upwards of $200, and it's probably not as pretty. Moving on to my bay window, I never really knew what I wanted to do here, which is why it sat plain for so long. Right now I'm adding privacy film. This will allow me to look out, but others won't be able to look in. After doing some research, I did find out that once it is nighttime, you will be able to look in, but I plan on adding curtains here anyway, so that shouldn't be a problem. I'm using this pale and stick window trim that I bought off of Amazon to create the look of mutton windows. I could have covered this up with a standard set of blinds, but I did want to embrace the natural light that comes into this room. I have 2 windows already that have blinds on it, and since this bay window is also a focal point of the room, it would be a wonderful opportunity to take advantage of adding some extra detail. But you can't see it inside.
That's what I'm saying, you can't see.
I like the added detail. I just don't know if I'm being too picky because I don't like how it's not really straight and you can see the sunlight peeking through. It definitely looks like it's tape. So I think I'm going to be extra and add caulk because I like the design. More importantly, I love how much it cost. With that little extra caulk, I feel like it'll make it look cleaner and finished because it doesn't look too bad, but I don't like how it's peeking through. It just doesn't look finished. Alright, so I added the caulk and it did what it was supposed to do, which was make it look neat, make it look straight. I didn't want the sun peeking through the little cracks. I'll be giving everything a fresh coat of white paint, and I think I'm going to be painting the ledge too. I feel like a lot of people would have opted for stain as far as this ledge goes, but it was a little bit too damaged for me. There was little spots that had water damage. There was a huge crack down the center that would need filling. I did sand it in the past. That's why it was down to bare wood, but there was just too much going on in my mind. I feel like the white makes it look clean and give it that traditional colonial look. I feel like it needs one more thing before I add the curtains. I think having those 4 pieces of hardware painted would look better. I'm going to pick up some spray paint or something similar to Rub and Buff in the store because I want to get it out the way today. It hasn't even been long and I can tell that it's going to bleed through. The little yellow spots like right here is a good indicator of where it's going to bleed through. So I'm going to give it a layer of Kilz. I'll go over it with another coat of white paint and hopefully that works. Before I do the second coat of white paint, I'm going to spray paint this. I tried a couple samples in the store, but I ultimately went with the antique brass. Everything else was a little bit too gold for me. So I'm going to spray paint this whole thing. And we'll also do the lock mechanism for the window. The antique brass was a great color for this. It's not too much, stands out just enough and gives it that extra detail that I was looking for. I'm going to end the video here. In the next video, hopefully all of my material gets in for the final stages of this room, which is the curtains, the rug, and something to replace this table.